What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Living in Color Season 2 podcast. I'm here today with
the wonderful Cyrus
and Tahir. Yes, and just to give y'all a brief background, Living in Color Project is a project dedicated to highlighting the people in Philadelphia by telling stories through the progressive pride flag and symbolizing those colors and actually kind of like creating different like storytelling and helping create opportunities for other people in our community. So let's get right into it. Zaya, tell me about yourself and like the color you represent.
Well, I'm Zaya Rose. I respond to she, her pronouns. I represent the color pink, the most fabulous color in all of the rainbow. I think it's quite accurate for who I am. I'm a femme queen, a trans woman. I think that like me and the color pink go together real bad.
Yes.
Real accurate.
Yes. And this is a question for both you and Tahir. What attracted you guys to the project?
Well, should I go first?
Yes.
Okay. What attracted me to the project, like I was telling Kanaya, is that I just kind of wanted to show that to be trans, to be a femme, to be a woman, there isn't just one way to go about it. I think in many cases, I'm an oddball. If you were to look at me and compare me to other femme queens or other trans women or trans feminine people, I think in many ways I am unique, but also very similar. I think we are all very unique, and like especially in this climate where we're all kind of being lumped together, villainized. It's like important to show that no, hey, like we're still people, and like people are different from other people all the time. So whether that's from how I choose to accessorize myself, the work that I do, the people I surround myself with, or even how I sound and look. Like, I just wanted the opportunity to show, like, hey, there are multiple different ways to be a feminine, multiple different ways to be you, and that is, like, what you have to bring to the table is value, just for what it is, or how you are.
What attracted me to the project is to help my own community. Philly's community is really important to me because being queer, I always want to be part of something, and helping friends in the community is really important because that's the only way you can thrive in the community.
Yeah.
And you were the second photographer this year for season 2, right?
Yes. It was a very fun experience doing that.
Yes.
And photographer with photos.
Yes, you did a great job.
Put me out of hiatus.
You know, I take people out of hibernation to get them to come out and be in action. So, you know, I appreciate you actually taking pictures this year. It was definitely a blessing in disguise for you to be here at this time. So thank you, Tahir. Kind of go in more depth about the community. And this is a question mainly for you, Zaya. How would you like to see, or actually, no, Tahir, you can answer this question too.
Thanks for allowing me.
How do you hope to see more queer representation in your field of work or just in your field of like your community?
I will not say field work because there's plenty of queer baristas. Plentiful. Yes, I think we need to
Lock that too.
How many somethings have you seen?
Fuck that latte.
Caught that matcha tea.
Strawberry matcha, a little bit of lavender.
Yes, but at our community, it's also plenty of us too. But sometimes we all get pushed to the back burner sometimes because it's like, oh, queer art for this one specific show. We don't care about the other thing. We want the generic, cis, white, generic tea and art, which is really important to showing art in Philly, showing art in our queer community because I find that very unique because queerness is unique in every city.
Yeah. No, it's okay. You know, we get edited out of anything.
For me, I feel like. Could you repeat the question?
It's okay. No. How do you hope to see more queer representation reflected in your field? So that could be like in your everyday life, in your career, or just like where you're at right now.
God. Well, I'm a scholarly babe. I am pursuing my Bachelor of Arts in Sociology and Gender and Sexuality Studies currently. I like to think of myself as a transformative, force, and I would love to see more, kind of what I talked about in my interview, see more Black, brown, queer, and trans people pursuing their dreams, like thinking that I think there's a misconception that we are too much or too bold or too loud to speak in the same room as our cis white male counterparts or to take up as much space in educational spaces, the art spaces, any of those things. And that's simply just not the truth. I think representation would be the representation that's needed, the diversity in thought that's needed in a lot of the rooms that are defining like what is going on in our lives every day. I think representation, especially from Black, brown, um, queer and trans people of color, is needed. We're often talked about, but we're never the ones leading the conversation.
Talk about it.
So it's just like, yeah, I would love to see more people pursuing like their collegiate careers or pursuing whatever form of education it is that they would like to receive, whether that's cosmetology school, art school, blase, blase, even if, okay, you business babe, business boots, go get that business degree.
Exactly.
I would love that.
Business is business. Yes. And you touched on a lot of things that being trans and just like being a trans woman go through. And the next question I want to ask is mainly for you, since you represent the color. Um on the progressive pride flag, you represent the trans identity. So you represent pink for usually like femininity and trans femme and all trans women. Tell me, what does living your truth look like in the world where so many people are against you guys? Like they're constantly always targeting like trans people, especially trans women. And it's just like so discouraging to like see it happen so frequently. So what are some things that you do to not only like deal with that, but like how do you like really live in your truth?
By being a boss bitch. No. But like truthfully, yeah, I was being a boss bitch. Um, I think that for me, my power comes from my authenticity, and that comes from not shrinking in a room regardless of who's there,
Right.
or walking down the street, keeping my head held high. I think especially now that we're facing times of uncertainty, especially in particular for trans women and trans feminine people, the idea is that they want us to hide, or they want us to not think that we're worth the things we are worth, or they want us to hide our brilliance or our creativity, or act like we don't know that we're the shit. I have fought too hard, too long to be the shit, when in reality, I have been the shit since day one. It's been society telling me that I've been too much, or too little, or too this, or too that, when really it's like, people don't get to define who I am or the experience of myself. I get to set those parameters, and I also get to extend and expand those parameters whenever I would like. So I think truly it's like my biggest form of rebellion is drawing power from my authenticity. Like I am the same bitch here when I'm in classrooms, when I'm giving gender diversity trainings to old white men, to when I'm kicking it with my homegirls. I am the same bitch.
Exactly.
Hi, boss bitch.
Okay.
Next question.
Period. Well, the next question I'm actually gonna go to over back to Tahir. So going back again, Tahir, thank you again for like taking pictures for season 2. Again, blessing in disguise. You've always been here, but you taking pictures this year has really been like a big blessing. And I want to know more about your experience of this season. Since you were a part of season 1 behind the scenes, now you're more in the forefront for season 2. Tell me about like how your experience was taking pictures for all 11 models, and just like what was on your mind through each of them. If you don't gotta go through everyone, but just tell me about your experience.
I would say coming to this experience, coming from a hiatus, not taking photos, may take a photo or two for our family murder here and there,
But not really doing like a photo
show
shoot.
you being creative, thinking about, oh, I need to draft this out so I have an idea when I get to the shoot. It was a lot. It was a lot. It forced me basically seeing someone neurodivergent too.
Yeah.
Working is like working is working.
Yeah.
But especially like editing the photos specifically, that was the funnest part for me. Because I was like, I need to make sure this represents each and every color. And also, something I have never gotten because I'm self-taught, criticism.
Yes.
Yes.
And more weather critiques.
Rosko had more notes than Beyonce. He had a lot of notes. Because I know there's so many times you edit the way you edit. You don't really, I look at it and then like, oh, I like this. It's perfect. And someone's like, I don't like my pose. That's looks kind of awkward. Nice photo, but it's not fully in focus, even though I love the composition of it. Too much headspace. Really just like fine-tuning things. I prefer things that are darker in photos. Force myself to make it lighter. Also, working my day job and also doing photography at the same time. I was like, I could actually do both. I just didn't make time for it.
Yes.
And also going from behind the scenes and going to there, I was like, I kind of had a feeling of, okay, I know I'm about to be working. Because I was only behind the scenes for a few shoots last year. But I'm actually, at the end of the day, very happy. I actually feel like a full-time creative again.
Yes, and you were such a great creative part of this project too. You know, definitely when we look back, like years down the line, we're gonna look back at season 2 and just like how grateful, like your work was really good at, and even just like at the symposium when we like showcased season 2, it was like such a good feeling to even just like, you know, people to like look at the photos and like look at the edits and knowing that like, you know, you did your thing with that, like you really did. So, you know, kudos to you, Tyre, because like I said again, if it wasn't for you, you know, we wouldn't have like this like pitches for season 2. So my last question goes out to both of you guys, and I really want to know, when the world experiences you, what does that look like? What are they going to get when they experience Zaya? What are they going to get when they experience Tahir? I know y'all kind of already answered it, but if y'all can just like, you know, go a little more depth into like that.
I think currently I'm on a journey of life, really rediscovering what self-love means for myself. I have come to the understanding that I'm an experience. And so what the world experiences when they're experiencing Zaya Rose is, you know, like an ever-changing, self-evolving person. I think that for far too long, I've like succumbed to the idea of having to like dim my light or shrink myself or being like too much. And I'm starting to really enter a phase in my life where that is not the case. Maybe I'm not doing too much, maybe I'm not doing enough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got to think about that.
Right. So I think what the world is experiencing when they're experiencing me is someone who is brazen, unashamed, and just an experience that pulls the best out of people and their most truest forms out of them. That's what I like to think.
Yes.
I think the world should experience me as someone who's extremely flawed, who always tries. Just making sure I be myself in every single space I am, like you said. So because if you're not seeking to be accepted and living in your color, everyone will eventually see it.
Exactly. Okay.
I saw that, baby.
You ate that fish.
Yeah. Bitch, might need to
Thank
make y'all
y'all.
toast.
Not too much. Thank you guys so much for coming. Before we do end, because this is the last time we're doing this, I do want to give a special shout out to the models who didn't get a chance to actually be here to record. Thank you to Suki, who did orange. Thank you to Brandon, who represented yellow. And thank you to Brick, who represented light blue in the trans flag. Although you guys couldn't be here to film, I'm deeply appreciative and forever grateful for you guys for being part of season 2. Y'all will always have a special place. Well, you two's daughter, like, you know, you always have a special place. Everybody in season 2 has a special place in my heart. Like, y'all really turned it out. And thank you guys for watching the Living in Color podcast, all 3 parts. And stay tuned, because season 3 will be out next year, and we hope to see y'all. Remember, keep on loving
And living in color.
Living in your color. Zwa.